Hey, we've got an exciting partnership coming up. We just want to take this time to talk about a partnership we have now. We're promoting Iron Beard and Oil Balm. Most of the old blokes on this podcast have beards, so why not get some help looking after them? Iron Beards is a local Australian company that makes high-quality beard oils and balm with 100% natural, organic, and vegan-friendly ingredients like hemp oil, natural seed oil, and argan oil. They offer products like Black Forest Beard Balm, Valhalla Beard Balm, and Oil Spice Rum Beard Balm. That's going to be my favourite. Fresh Rain Beard Oil, and many more products. They've even got a deodorant and dog nose and paw balm. If you're interested, be sure to check out their Instagram page, all one word, at Iron Beard Oil and Balm. They're Iron Beard Oil and Balm on Instagram to shop for your needs.
Hey gang, welcome to Old Blokes Love Sneakers too. We're on to season 4, can you believe it? We got here. This is episode 1 of the new season. Hey, we've got a bit of something exciting today. This will be on Zoom and YouTube as well as a podcast. So hey, sometimes the boys get to look at each other, so it's a bit of off-putting at some pieces. So you may have some trouble with our descriptions. We promise we'll work on that. If you need the visuals, jump on our Insta page and you can grab those along with the podcast, or even better, it'll be on YouTube and the visuals will come up directly. So yeah, a bit exciting for the new season. We're trying new things. We've also got a whole lot of other little things we're doing, like Spilling the Kicks, where you get me at 10 a.m. most mornings when I talk to somebody about sneakers. Luke is doing Around the World in 130 days of sneakers. And Joel is doing some really good content that's coming up soon. Hey, also we've got something really special in this episode. We've got our new Kicks correspondent. He's a 15-year-old sneaker whiz. We call him Freddie. He's from Creasedupkicks. I hope you enjoy what he has to say. He's got some amazing stuff, and he's definitely lifted the intelligence of the old blokes. Hey, in this podcast, it gets a bit interesting with Joel's seal of approval. Joel struggles to be his angry self. We actually get to look him in the eye, but by the end of it, he's back to normal. At the end, we have a rate-hate debate that has a bit of a slithering theme. Hope you enjoy the podcast.
Hello, welcome to Old Blokes Love Sneakers too. We're up to season 4. Bit of a special today. We're starting off episode 1. We've joined the Corona Zoom craze. So we're doing this both as a podcast and we're also doing it on Zoom. So I get to look at the two ugly old blokes for the whole thing. It's a bit scary. I'm a bit put off. Lukey, Joel, how are we, boys?
Good, Paulie.
Good.
Nice to be seeing you boys face to face for a change. And nice to see Lukey in his wardrobe with his stash behind him.
Yeah, I think you've been banished. How are you, Lukey?
Yeah, I'm okay. For reference, this is the runoff, leftover, dust collecting stash. This isn't primo territory, just so everybody knows.
So for
just in case people were judging you.
That's it. Don't judge, otherwise I'll have to put up the screen blocker.
All right. Hey, boys, welcome back. So we made it to season 4. I thought we'd start with an intro. Joel, what have you been doing since we last spoke? I think there's been a little bit going on.
I think where we left things off, there was a purchase of 3 fire red Jordan 5s, which Lukey has in that wonderful upmarket version of the wardrobe you're seeing behind him, as I understand it. But I just couldn't survive with just the white pair. Yes. And this was a purchase that I had earmarked for a while, so I finally got the black ones, which are called metallic. And I'm really bloody excited about those things arriving.
Beautiful. When are they coming? A couple of weeks?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, Corona seems to have slowed the postie down quite a bit. But, you know, all credit to Ozpost. They're doing a great job. So, I don't know. We'll see in the next couple of weeks. We've actually got, in this house, a whiteboard that has on a list of all the online deliveries that we're expecting, just so we don't forget.
That's a bit scary, mate. That seems like you may have a bit too many purchases going.
It's worrying.
How big's the whiteboard?
Yeah, bigger than it needs to be, probably. It's probably not as disturbing as the fact that 6 cases of wine arrived recently, and we thought that was normal. But
that's not even on the list. That's not even extra.
Rona days, strange behaviour.
Rona days. Lukey, what have you been buying since we last spoke, my man?
I just got distracted by something that Joel just said. Did you end up getting that third pair of fire reds? Did they turn up?
I did. I've got 3.
Yeah, so that third pair did arrive eventually.
Yeah. I've got them all.
Yeah, I haven't.
Warn Lukey. You look like the post you've been wearing them.
Yeah. I haven't made any purchases. I don't think. I've missed out on a couple of things, and there's another release coming through in an hour or so that we're going to try really hard to push for. But yeah, I mean, most of my stuff I've been getting the the outlets and everything, and they're all closed. What Joel said about the whiteboard, I got the same thing happening here, and we're getting morning, noon, and night deliveries, and it made me think, because I'm always thinking, that if you went to Aldi and bought a real cheap tablet and hung it in the kitchen that had trackers on all your deliveries, so you could click on the status of them. I mean, that would be quite good, rather than just doing it manually every time and wondering. If you just had a board and you knew where all your shit was coming from.
Now you've described this amazing solution. I can't believe that I've been surviving with just a mere whiteboard.
Yeah, well, I got a piece of paper. I don't even have a whiteboard. I got a piece of paper on the fridge. It's got boxes on it. I should take a photo.
The releases tonight, Lukey, and he's off to Audi. He's going to get that board straight away.
Yeah, that and the 65-inch TV for $600, which is fun.
You could use the TV. Just use the TV.
Yeah, you could. You certainly could. It's a whole new world.
So, all right, that's a good lead in. So, hey, we want to do something different today. We're obviously on Zoom, so we're going to do a Lukey stash. We're going to jump straight into it because it seemed pretty boring. We've actually haven't done much since we last talked, have we? That seems very boring, boys.
We are on lockdown, Paulie, so that would sort of...
Post, you've got whiteboards. We need to up our game. I know. That's right. I might have put some orders in for hopefully in a couple of weeks, Lukey. If we get that order, I give you 6 or 7 pairs.
Yeah, a lot. It went from a personal quantity to a commercial quantity. Put it that way. So
it might have been a job. I might have secured a job in between the first order and the last finalization.
Yeah. Consumer confidence is
all
high.
All of a sudden, it's like, hey, I've got cash. Let's roll.
That's right.
All right. Hey, Lukey, this is a good lead-in. You've got a stash behind you. What is Lukey's stash today, mate? Let's hear it.
Okay. I should have thought this through a little bit better because I could have just grabbed the stash and I'd given you a better look.
This is even better.
Yeah, these are controversial, and I brought them out because they are controversial, and they are called the Jordan Spike 40 Low. They're covered in 3M. They got the clear sole with the Jordan. They've got all these details on them. The backside of one tongue says "you dig." The backside of another tongue says "show enough." They're Spike Lee ones, and then the lace tips say "by all means necessary," and then the lace holder is actually that version, that Mars Spike Lee thing from the early Jordan campaign. So there's a lot of interesting details, and they say Nike Air on the back, and they got the Jumpman on the front. But I don't even know if they were replicating a J, what they'd be closest to. Maybe I don't know. What do you think they're closest to, Joel?
They've got the little lace lapel holder things that the eyelets. Let's call them eyelets because that's what they're called. From the Jordan 5s. The rest of it, I don't know.
Well, they got a lot of 3M like Jordan 5s. I really should have thought this through.
Okay.
And just brought them, and I could have just been flipping them around.
Where did you get them from?
Wouldn't have
I'm curious.
No idea.
Are they on a discount rack somewhere?
You facetious prick, Joel.
Heavily,
yes, they were. Heavily
discounted. Up to 90% off, and these were the ones, right?
They weren't 90% off. They're not that bad. I don't wear them. They're not that bad. They got some nice details. They're reasonably put together too. They're okay, and they're covered in 3M and stuff. Like people, they dig them.
They're a bit interesting. Right. And price.
Yeah, well, I've never seen them. So
yeah,
it's interesting just to see that Jordan are licensing products like this.
Yeah. Spike 40 Low. I can't find them for sale online. strangely enough.
It's probably one of a kind. You might have a one-off here, mate.
Yeah, I might be the only one that was stupid enough to buy them.
They are
I'm just
not
gonna
listed on
quickly
Go, I guarantee it.
No, they're not listed on Goat. Damn.
So, Jolie, do you think these are any good, or?
No, I mean, I'm real curious that it actually came about. And I think, what were the words that were on the back of it and so on? I like that, just because it's, typical Spike Lee. But
it's an interesting one. It's
not in the Jordan repertoire that I'm fishing for, but
no,
fascinating that it happened.
There's no number after them, mate. There's no Jordan 1 to 4,000 on these.
That's right. I mean, we can't even tell what it's modelled on, right?
Hey,
when did you get them, Luke? How old are they?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're 3 or 4 years old. Maybe they're 3 or 4 years old. I'd have to look inside and see what the what year they were built. But I haven't seen a lot of action. I think I might have worn them once, or maybe once.
It's funny, right? It's a Mars Spike Lee collaboration with Jordan, right? And he was the biggest Knicks fan ever. That would have put me off straight away. Look, Joel, I wouldn't have been buying it for that reason.
Nah, the Spike Lee Jordan connection was thick.
I'm joking. I just thought that was my thought. He goes, "Hey, we can't beat him, so I'm just going to make pairs of runners with him so I can make more money." And then
he was aware. Back in then, he knew. He was very aware.
Yeah. Well, I really like these, Luke, and that's a really nice photo. You need to give credit again. I think your wife is taking these photos.
Brilliant.
It's quite the concept, but I don't know if I can get away with not having to make that step. You guys have got me at work. I'm doing a video a day. I'm doing Instagram meeting videos. I'm doing unboxings, and I'm doing this. There's a lot of content coming out. I'm gonna need some checks. This is getting a little bit of a full-time job.
We checked with you, and they're good. Joel's the only one at the moment. Joel's got to get his series going soon. Anyway, hey, these were really good. Thank you, my man. They were phenomenal.
Yeah.
We talked about a little bit before. We want to talk in a bit of a segment now. So let's just talk about what's coming out in the next couple of months. It's been sort of a bit of an interesting area lately. I think lots of stuff's been pushed out. There's no lineups anymore. Everything's online. A lot of stores are having problems. One of our interviews that you'll hear later on in the season, a lot of stores are having lots of problems actually just getting stock to line because all ours lineup. There's nothing online. So what are we after at the moment, Joel? We talked about a few just before this. What are we looking for in the next couple of months?
Well, like usual, I'm banned from spending any money on sneakers.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it's, there are more important things in life than sneakers, boys. So, we need to be serious and very responsible adults. There's probably 2 pairs that I've got in mind. There is a pair of Jordan 4 Fire Reds, similar to the white and red highlighted Jordan 5 Fire Reds that just dropped. But the Jordan 4 Fire Reds are going to drop in November. So I'm going to play a bit of a waiting game for those. And there's another pair that I think the man who made them famous probably deserves me to make the purchase. And that is a pair of Jordan 3 Kobe colorway. They're actually an alternate to the Kobe colorway that he wore, which from memory is about $30,000. So this is the black version of the same shoe, which I don't think they call it a Kobe. I think they call it a Lakers colorway, which is why the price is kind of reasonable.
Define kind of reasonable.
$200 US.
No.
But I tell you, so what I'm interested in at the moment, you boys have heard me talk about this a bit, is dead stock. So where I know that it's not a full-size run general release like I know that the Jordan 4 is going to be, and I can probably back myself just to stay up late and beat the bots and get a pair at the right time. If I think it's going to be a limited release, the idea of the dead stock purchase is pretty appealing. So you pay. So for those for the uninitiated, you pay early. So I could actually buy a pair of those Jordan 3 Lakers colorway now, and they're going to get released in November. And what it is a guarantee that through the retailers networks, they will get you the shoe.
That's really nice.
Wait a second. So you pay the what's the price though? They pick a price point and you just get stuck paying it, or do they sell to you the retail price? Like, how does the price work?
No, they pick the price.
Okay.
So 200 US. I don't know what that's going to be relative to what the retail price is, but it'll probably be about there. So it won't be much more than the retail price.
Pretty good.
There'll be some shipping involved in it and so on, but on something that's questionable as to whether I might even get a pair.
What's their motivation? I don't understand how this works. Like, why would someone pre-sell you something that's going to be hot shit? Is it a revenue?
I guess it's because they're small, right? So this is actually a retail company, like a bricks and mortar company in Seattle.
Okay.
And like they're small, so they can't compete with the resale market that's on StockX and Goat. So they're almost like a halfway house between a retailer and a reseller. They're just trying to get their little bit of the cash.
That's interesting, isn't it? I would have thought there'd be a premium on that. That's the only thing I thought. If they're getting around the same price, you'd go, hey, look, I can't get these. If I can pay, 10 or 20% more, you'd do it anyway. Right? That's interesting how it's the same price. That's really interesting.
They've got a bit of a mix of stuff. If you look online, so they'll have some premium stuff in there, and I'm not, not saying all of it's at a good price, but like if you hunt through it,
okay.
It might be worth the gamble.
And who is they, and when are they planning on taking all the money from people in Melbourne and then just shutting up? What's the name of the company?
They're called Emerald City Deadstock.
Really?
I imagine they're not the only one, but these guys are based in Seattle, and I got in contact with them and just had a chat about how it all works and asked them how I can guarantee that they're not dodgy, and they seem pretty legit. So, yeah.
Really?
Love it. Hey, Lukey, what about those two? You've got a couple of things you're looking at the moment in the next couple of hours. What are you after?
Yeah, well, when's this show going out? It's going to be after the fact, isn't it?
It's going to be after the fact. So
okay, good. Well, at 8 o'clock tonight on Saturday in
he doesn't want
April,
it's going out now. It's live. What do you want about it?
Yeah, live. No, there's a jewel release on sneakers.com or Nike.com. In Australia anyway. 8 o'clock we got another release for the Adapt BBs, and I love the idea of being able to lace my shoes up with my phone, so I'm all into that. They're $420, and also the Fear of God Blacks are $530 or something, so they're not cheap, but they'll resell for a load more. They're just I don't get a big heart on Fear of God, but if they're there and I can get a pair in 12, then I'll get a pair in 12. It just is what it is. They're good as money in the bank.
So are you looking for a resale on those? Or are you looking to keep them?
What I do is I lie to myself and I say that I buy stuff to in order. Oh, it's going to be worth a lot of money. But I just buy it and then I have it and then I feel good about having it. I do that with lots of things.
I was going to say, I've never heard, you don't really resell much of your stuff.
I don't sell anything ever.
Well, that's what I mean. So you're going to get these Fear of Gods. And, Joel, you like the Fear of Gods, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. But it's a whole look that goes with them is what I think about. So you get the shoes, and then all of a sudden you're going to have to, get the whole package, all the jeans and the tracksuit, and do not pay retail for any of that stuff. Like recently, actually, Fear of God, I forget what it was about. Maybe it was, I don't know, maybe it was Corona days, or maybe it was before that, but it was some kind of crisis. And they were doing their bit to offer a good sort of retail price on all their clothes. So they offered 50% off. And I had a look and I thought, it's still 3 times what I would pay for a pair of tracksuit pants.
Look, like we said before in our pre-prod meeting, I don't know about the fear of gods. I like them, but I think what you just said there might be the thing. It needs to be that whole look. Because for me, I look at them and go, shit, they're a bit big and they're very pricey. 530s are. No, not for Lukey. That's low end for Lukey. But for me, that's high end for me.
I play in them for free on NBA 2K.
You've got it for free. They gave you extra jumping. They gave you +5 jumping and shooting, right?
That's right.
Do these do that, Lukey, in real life? No.
The Adapt BBs might. They're like those APL shoes, the Athletic Propulsion League shoes with the catapult systems that are banned by the NBA. Best thing that ever happened to those shoes. Banned by the NBA.
Interesting. Well, at the moment, doesn't matter. There's no one playing.
No.
Hey, so there's an interview coming up in a couple of weeks. We talked to a guy. I talked about him before. We'll talk about him in a sec. So he was talking about this thing called Discord groups. Have you heard about these, Joel, Luke? So what they do is it's a group of internet people that get alerts when things, and it's about, it was interesting when you were talking about Emerald City. So they get alerts across the world when things are being released. So they'll get these emails overnight and he will then contact them. He'll then contact them and buy them. All right. And this is that, and they call it this Discord group. It's really interesting. I think that may be what the Emerald City thing fits into. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, on that, we've done a bit of a release, but hey, we've got something special. So what we'll do now is this podcast will cut to a new guy we're going to add in called Freddie. He's from Creasedupkicks, and he is going to talk about all releases new for the next week or so. He's going to come on most podcasts, and he will come on and talk about what's coming out, what's coming on, what the hot things are. So this podcast is going to cut to him, and then we're going to come back just after that.
Hey guys, so I'm Fred. I'm from Creasedupkicks. I run the Instagram account for buying, selling, trading. So I'm going to be just talking about a few releases that are going to be coming out in the next few weeks. So pretty much, there's a couple releases coming out. The first pair I'm going to talk about is the Air Jordan 4, which retails at $270. There's 4 colorways, orange and purple, and it's just a remake. Metallic. Doesn't release in normal Jordan retailers, so Foot Locker, Nike, and all your normal stores that retail Jordans, limited pairs. This pair is last, especially in bigger sizes. Your most popular size is size 11 to 12, and that will release on May 20th. And be sure to check out overseas websites as well. A lot of overseas websites will be dropping them. Jordan Royal Toes as well. That's I'm gonna list. Will be dropping on Nike sneakers for Australia on May 5th. So it's a pretty easy cop if you're manual. Just pretty much run as many tabs open as possible to get a pair. We recommend refreshing the page maybe a minute early just to cop them. And pretty much just going to be your normal Jordan 1 retailers, Foot Locker, Nike sneakers, even overseas websites like eBay or whatever Jordan 1 retailers you're aware of. The next release is Nike SB Dunk Mid Griffey. It's a turquoise and black Dunk Mid, and it's a new release coming out tomorrow on May 2nd at select skate stores. Select skate stores such as UPS, which have already released them a couple weeks ago, but they may be releasing them for further restock. So I'd recommend ringing up or emailing your nearest skate store or your local skate store, because most skate stores should be getting the Dunk Mid Griffies. The next shoe we have here is the Kobe 5 Pro Trail. This is just for collecting only. Obviously, don't try to flip this shoe. Don't try bank off his death, but rip Kobe. But anyways, this shoe retails at $280 and it's dropping at your select Nike basketball stores, such as Foot Locker, Nike, and it'll be pretty easy cop as well. So just be sure to rock up online at the exact time when it releases, and you'll be able to get your size. So we recommend not reselling these just because it's not, it's not ethical to be selling of someone's death and making profiting off that. So the next release is the Yeezy Quantum Basketball. This was actually banned for the reflective heel. It was too bright for NBA, so they have to remake it, and they're now releasing it on May 15th. So we're expecting it to only drop on US sites and US stores and retailers. So it'll have a high retail price of $390 to $250 USD, and those will definitely be sold out in a split second. So be sure, easy supply, Adidas US limited. So we recommend maybe purchasing a pre-order just to get a cheaper price if you really want the shoe, or you can try your luck online for retail. Next shoe we have is a Dunk. It's the Nike Dunk Laser Orange. It's the Lakers colorways, so it's a bit of a Lakers tribute, and it retails at $140, which is pretty just a standard Nike Dunk retail price, and it'll be dropping at select skates. UPS have installed a Cop app raffle system, so if you want to check that out, you go give them a follow and check out the link in bio for further info on the Nike Dunk Laser Oranges. Yeah. We have a Discord coming out, which just came out this week. We have an application form in our link in bio on our account soul.assist on Instagram. We pretty much plug you guys with links, and we pretty much help you guys on a reselling course. We help you guys, teach you guys, and give you guys tips on how to grow your accounts. It's pretty much just any other course you see at uni or something like that. We're pretty much just helping you guys build a big brand. Just like us, we have moderators from different cities to give you guys real-time info for in-store drops. For cities like Adelaide, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Perth, Melbourne. We even have a mod in New Zealand for all our New Zealand customers. So there's pretty much a mod and staff member for everyone in every city. So be sure to check that out and apply. We will be accepting a limited amount of people, but as long as you just apply, write something nice about yourself and why you want to be there, it'll be pretty easy. Soul Assist on Instagram, soul.assist.
All right, we're up to Joel's seal of approval. We all know what this is. Joel, we've pulled out something out of our collections or something we've seen. We're going to sell it to Joel. What I like today is I'm going to actually see Joel's reaction. Right? It's going to be phenomenal. Joel is going to comment on these. The only rules we have is strictly no Jordans, which is because we'd always get a yes, right?
Can I go down? I've just got to go downstairs and get it, okay? I won't be a sec.
It only works on Zoom. We're still on podcast here. Anyone who's listening on the podcast, we'll just pause because Lukey just did the old escalator trick on Zoom. And it wasn't very good either.
It's hard. I got no height to work with.
You need to get your buddy adapt. You need to do it on your phone. You didn't look good and real. All right. Hey, on that, Maxie, we're going to let Lukey go first. Lukey, let's sell Joel.
Okay. Just wait for the image if we can, so I can remember what I did a couple of hours ago. Any minute now.
All right. Let's go.
All right. Here we go. Oh, there we have it. Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't
remember
know.
these.
Yeah, I bet. I don't know if there's an alternative colorway, but that's the only colorway that I know, and it's a famous shoe, and I found it because I looked up shoes that would have been worn when you were playing basketball.
That was actually what you typed into Google.
Yeah, that's it. I said when Joel was
playing basketball
in Dandenong, what was worn? What was worn? The other thing about this, if you didn't measure shoes by size, like 11, 12, 13, 14, and measured them by liquid capacity, I don't think there's a pair of shoes that could hold more liquids than a Mutombo, an Adidas Mutombo. So, in the flesh, they are a behemoth.
Yeah, big shoe. Oh, Joel, describe them for the podcast.
Okay, sorry, my apologies. They're Dikembe Mutombo's signature shoe. So they're a 90s release. I don't know exactly what year. He had a very successful early start to his career. So I think he was still in Denver when they came out. I'm not sure if you guys can clarify that.
At the Nuggets, for sure.
Yeah, so he was quite the talent, and so everybody, even big guys, they hadn't realized that big guys couldn't sell shoes back then. So every big guy from David Robinson to Sean Bradley,
Ewing.
Patrick Ewing, they all had their own signature shoe, and a lot of them had their own signature brand. Akeem had Spaldings, but Dikembe had Adidas, and they were Mutombos, and they made our fair shores here in Australia. So a lot of my friends and family actually, because they probably went on sale at some point because they were utterly ridiculous, copped Matombos. And they are, I mean, if you see a 14-year-old white kid weighing about 55 kilos wearing a pair of Matombos, it's quite the sight. So they brought back some good memories for me, and I thought they may do for you as well, Joel.
Yeah, no, good choice. Very, very happy with those. So right off the bat, that's got my approval, no doubt, Lukey. Maybe it's because you're looking at me and I'm feeling the pressure. I don't know what it is.
I was actually looking at Paul to gloat, but yeah, fair enough.
I'm freaking it. So is that an approval? Is that really an approval?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember seeing these things and thinking, you know, the size of the tongue on the front of that is like, I don't know, it's like someone with a massive slopey forehead like this, you know. But you know, those things are classic. And as you say, you know, the kids who were wearing those would have built up some leg muscles, no doubt.
You couldn't have, you know what you've done, Luke? You got to him as the sympathy vote, right? That got him. Got him.
Yeah.
Well, Mutombo is such a lovely guy. You know, he's true. You know, philanthropy back in Africa. You know, other than the finger wag. Yeah, that was the only cruel thing he ever did.
Yeah.
And they do have a lot of heritage. You know what it reminds me of too, when I looked at it just then? You know how Giannis has started to do some of his heritage stuff? That's what it sort of felt like, you know. And he had the tribal stuff. They were good. They are very bulky. But hey, So that's a Joel seal of approval. Look at that. Straight off the bat on Zoom.
Straight off the bat.
Hey, we might go 2 for 2 today, Lukey.
Oh, confident.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, I've got a little bit of confidence today. After what Joel said in the thing, I think I've done all right. All right, so the rule is no Jordans. All right, I've been trying to work around this rule, so I reckon I've got the right workaround. And it's not a Jordan, but I reckon I've got the workaround. Maxie, let's bring it up. All right. Can we see them?
Yeah, I can see him. Good luck.
All right.
I got them.
So we know what these are, Jolie?
These are Kobe's.
These are Kobe 11. Wait a minute. The name is Tinker Muse. So Kobe, let me read you. So today, Kobe Bryant is a muse. But growing up, Bryant had his own hero, Michael Jordan. So for these Kobe's, for the Kobe 11, Tinker Hatfield helped him design these. So these are styled on a Jordan 4, but they're with the Kobe, obviously the Kobe silhouette. But that's what these are inspired on. And this was one of 3 different sorts that came out in this Tinker Muse sort. They had a blue, and I think the other one was a bit of a lighter color. I think it was like a grayish. But saw these, Jordan 4 inspired. I thought you would love these. Yep. And so it says here, yep, definitely collaborated with Tinker. Tinker has caused my parents a lot of headaches over the years, Bryant recalled, for having to go and find a bunch of Air Jordans. So this was his thing. So I've got around the Jordan rule. And I've got you a Kobe 11, Jordan-inspired Tinker Muse, mate. What are we thinking?
So you're telling me, I mean, this is a story that I'm unfamiliar with. You're telling me that Tinker designed these shoes? Or this is just a version?
Here it comes.
Or this is just a version of a shoe that had already been designed by someone else?
No.
And
so let me read. I've got my facts, right? This is what I made sure. The Tinker Muse release, Tinker had input into the design. He was in collaboration with Jordan and the Jordan brand and also Kobe and Nike. So he was involved. It wasn't after the fact. See, I made sure. I've got legalities here.
Right. I'm gonna go with my version of the story that says the shoe's already been designed. Someone wanted to use his name on it before the final sort of release into production. They put it in front of Tinker and they said, "Are you okay with these?" And he said, "Look, I get paid like so much. I'm pretty cool with everything at this point. So let's go. Let's do it."
We couldn't get 2. We were never going to get 2, right? had to get around it. He was so scared to give us 2 approvals.
I'd say there are a couple of the Kobe's that I really like, but that's not one of them. My biggest problem with that shoe is that it's a fly knit. And just a fly knit on a basketball shoe.
But I actually like the colorway, and I like the idea that Tinker was involved.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. Poor execution.
Lukey, help me out, Lukey.
I want to know on the forefoot with those Kobe's, they look like Metcons, but
they do.
on the forefoot, on the striker plate there, right by your little toe, they've got that bit that kicks out about 4 or 5 mils, which makes them unwearable for certain percentages of the population. I'll put it that way. And that's always been the problem with that shoe. They have this weird little bit that is either sink or swim, that if you extend past it, game over, you're in the hospital.
Metcon or Kobe?
No, the Kobe. The Kobe on the front foot there. You'll see it. It's on the picture. You can just make it out. It's like a little spoiler that's on the forefoot. I guess it suits Kobe's game, or it's for hard cutting or something. But if you're not at Kobe levels of athleticism, you're going to go over on that forefoot. I guarantee it. So public safety announcement, leave the Kobe's alone.
Joel, so let's just close this out. So where do we get to?
No, that one does not. No, doesn't have the seal of approval, Paulie.
And I'm going back to VB Converse next week. That's it.
You Googled all the right search terms.
I know.
You were like, oh yeah, let's do it.
Tinker, Muse, this is in. I'm in.
You're in. And the sum of the parts were not equal.
Yeah, I can see what you're both doing.
I reckon I'd have gone first, Lukey. I would have got it.
No
you didn't want to give 2 approvals. You'd be like, what the hell?
No,
nothing to do with that. Just to comfort you, Paul, there's no way you would have got an approval on that shoe.
We'll never know. We'll never know. All right. We're up to our rate, hate, and debate, boys. All right. So we're going to start with Maxie, bring it up. So while he's getting it up here, we've got an Air Jordan 1 snake skin. All right. The one on the left we're going to start with, boys. All right. So this was originally rumored to be part of Nike's Black History Month 2020 collection. Black leather sets the stage for the medley of coloured scales through this Air Jordan 1. Despite the dark authentic toe boxes, tongues, and mid-foot panels contribute to the pair's overall look. While free of any Dior Jordan 1-like lacquered patterns, profile swooshes feature a metallic gold trim. It's a bit hard to see on a picture. We'll get a better picture up.
Yeah, that's what I'm just doing that. I'm not on my phone, I'm just looking for other alternative images.
Sure. All right, Joel, let's start with you. What do we think about the Jordan 1 low snake skins? Do we rate or hate?
So let's just start with this.
Out there.
Let's just start with this fact that they are a women's sizing run.
Sorry, I should have said women's.
Yeah. But that said, I actually quite like that Jordan do women's shoes that are a little bit out there. And, there's a couple that are releasing at the moment that I'm quite into. Not necessarily to put on my own feet, but I just think it's cool from a fashion point of view to have them out there. As you boys know, I'm not a Jordan low purchaser. I kind of think, stick with the height of the shoe that Jordan wore himself. Yep. But I'm going to give this shoe a rate because I think it's good from a fashion point of view to get the Jordan brand out and put it in the hands of the female market. Something a bit different.
Well, hang on.
I quite like it.
On a technicality, I don't think that's in the spirit of the game.
I feel like I've made my decision. We can move on.
No, you can't rate the shoe for someone else. That's horseshit. What you can rate it and say I don't care for it personally, but in principle I think it's all right. Is that how you go about it?
I would wear them as well. I don't. I'm not ruling.
Oh no, that's fine. Okay, so
they'd have to be a size 13 women, but yep.
Yeah,
I'd wear
but
them.
you'd wear them.
Yep.
Would you travel by float if you were to wear them, or would you going by motor vehicle?
They wouldn't be the most outlandish shoes I have. Young Lukey. Yeah.
They are. I've got peach. I've got pink. I got a pink section. I have a pink section. There is no way those things are sequined They are sequined fruitiness. I'm gonna, I think
Oh, Lukey,
you need a
let's
better photo.
skip to you, Lukey. So we're rating or hating?
No, I'm gonna hate these. I wanted to not hate them because the other one, snakeskin stuff. There's other ones in different colors in the men's one. They're all pretty cool, but these ones are like, they're way out there.
All right, just let me close out. I'm going to do a hate as well. I like ones. I don't like the colorway, Jolie. I don't actually care about sequins and that. I just don't like this colorway. The picture we've got doesn't do it justice. When I was looking, it is a bit not my colorway, but yeah, it's weird how we've gone the opposite way. Normally, I'd be the one protagonist and you'd be the one. No, there's no way we do a one live.
Just try not to be negative, and you guys need to encourage that.
Weird. Hey, what are you doing? That's your stick on this show. You need to be the negative man. You can't all be the nice guys. All right, number 2. Here we go. Max has put in the words here so I can screw it up perfectly. All right. The easy basketball what is it? Quantum. Sorry, my reading's so good. Make his way to the basketball sneaker. Kanye West has tried to design a more functional sneaker. This version's upper is divided up with a lace-up booty, snakeskin. I think we've got a theme today, boys. Snakeskin textured paneling and suede toe. A semi-translucent casing contains responsive boost cushioning, doubling as an outsole for directional traction. Lukey, what do you reckon about Mr. Kanye West's foray into basketball shoes?
I think it's a spectacular fail. I don't doubt that they'll be hugely, immensely popular with the urban youth. But for myself and my associates, we're going to give them a hard pass. So that's a hate. Categorical hate from start to finish. I don't see it. I don't like the silhouette. I don't like the execution. I don't like anything about it.
Constituents? Yes.
Yes. Hate, my constituents, they don't like it.
Good for all the people you represent. It's a hard hate.
That's
Charlie,
right.
what do we reckon about these?
Well, you boys know I don't like anything in snakeskin.
The jacket you've got, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's true. I saw a couple of guys wearing these at the All-Star game. I think it was limited to 2. And what I have observed is, even though we don't have basketball now, for the few games that did follow the All-Star game, there were very few players actually wearing their shoes on the court, which tells me not only do they look like trash, but they probably perform like trash.
Yeah. So they're no Nike. I've been trying to rack my brain to think of the name of those shoes that everyone wears that were really ugly that you had last episode. What are they called? Nike Air Adequate.
No.
Inadequate.
What were they called?
These quantums would be just under the Nike Air Mediocre.
Up tempo?
Nah, they weren't up tempo.
Don't even start on the up tempo.
They were something else that we hadn't heard before, but they were.
They were 5. Jordan 5.
Oh, Paul.
I'm just fishing. It's good. See, I can see the reaction. This works so much better now. I can see your reaction. All right, Luke. So that's a hate?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You mean, from me. Yeah, you need one from me. That's definitely a hate.
I already had your hate, didn't I? Yes. I thought, we do. I've already written you down for a hate job before we started.
Good.
All right. So I'm going to add a hate. I don't like anything he does just because I can't pronounce his name most of the time. Easy, so I just do him hates in general. No, I don't like this at all. Like I've grown into some of his other stuff. I probably would never buy them, but yeah, I definitely would never buy these. So I'd rather buy the Enos Cancer clean my hand shoes that we did last.
They're the ones. What are they called?
I don't know what they're called.
Like adequate.
Have a look on our Instagram, Luke, while I'm doing the next one. They're on the Instagram. All right, so lucky last for Rate, Hate and Debate, we have Joel's favourite, a Nike Kobe 5 Proto Lakers, coming out May the 16th, 2020. As suggested, the late Kobe Bryant, his signature shoe, is draped in the Lakers team hues of purple across its synthetic upper, which is then offset by black detailing and gold trim. Other markings on the sneaker include a snakeskin pattern on the black heel counter to reflect the black Mamba persona. Metallic silver Kobe branding on the tongue, and a pattern lining. Finally, a white midsole, adhere, a top, and icy translucent outer sole of the design. I'm going to go with you first, Lukey, because I want Joel to have a long time on these. Lukey, what do you think about the Kobe 5 proto Lakers?
I don't like all Kobe, especially the Tinker 11s, but I like the 5s. I like that silhouette's quite nice, and they're simple. They're pretty sleek. Like I would, if everything that had happened hadn't happened, I wouldn't get a pair. But all things considered, I probably would. Like to me, like all the Lakers stuff, I just try to, for the most part, try not to go down that path. But now I sort of relax on that a little bit. Like if I was able to cop, I would cop. They're they're quite nice. They're quite nice. Well, they're black shoes, so you just got to be very careful with the black basketball sneakers because you'll give the appearance of going backwards.
we are going backwards.
No, honestly, okay. So if I can run in white basketball sneakers or multicolored sneakers, if I my terminal velocity is say 12 kilometers an hour, if I put black shoes on, I'm 7. Look it up.
You can't see the.
No, it's just it's the appearance. It's the appearance. It makes you look like you're running super slow. It is. Yeah, right. It's a real thing. Look it up.
I don't know where to go from here. I'm lost. So is that we're rating these? We're rating these, Luke?
Yeah. We're gonna give them a rate.
Joel, where are you at?
Yeah, I'm down with these.
Down with them.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all for me.
I think if I look through the whole Kobe range and just pick out some of the silhouettes that I like. This is probably not my favorite Kobe silhouette, but I think that it's coming out in the Lakers colorway, and I quite like black. Maybe the illusion of moving slower than I actually am is
cerebral.
Right.
Yeah. Right. It lulls your opponents into a false sense of security.
That's exactly right.
So I'm putting you down for a rate, mister?
Yeah, put me down for a rate. I mean, I wouldn't have gone with the icy sole.
Translucent.
Just a white sole, translucent sole. But,
that's we just read what the marketing.
I'm just being picky. I'm being picky.
It does. That's what the marketing got them. So maybe that will turn you out of it. Hey, I rate these two. I think you both summed it up. The Kobe stuff has softened, obviously, because of what's happened over the last few months with Paul Kobe. So I rate these. I don't like the 5. There's way better silhouettes, but yeah, I reckon we should get these two. May 16th, 2020, these are coming out. So we should get a pair of these each. What do you reckon? We should all rock these. So that's 3 rates to finish today, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Luke's in a hurry. Look, he's up. He's ready to roll.
Oh, I need to get a comfortable chair in here.
You want to see just some stretching, mate. Get some stretching going.
That's it.
Put on some white runners. You look fine.
That's exactly right. I'll grab some white ones.
All right. Hey, we made it. Somehow we made episode 1 of season 4 on Zoom. It's going to be very interesting to see it. Lukey, what are your final words, my man?
My final words are, if you're starting a community basketball team and you want everybody to have uniforms that match and shoes that match, what you want to do is you want to go out into the market and buy yourself some Nike Air Audacity, because that's what you need.
Audacity.
Yes. Audacity. The Audacity is what pays the bills. So if you want to run a traveling basketball team from Dandenong to Albury-Wodonga, it is Audacity time. So I'll leave you guys with that, because I am locked in the house. I got no shoes, and you've got me recording videos, taking pictures, and doing Zoom stuff. I am fucked shit out of ideas. My content has been saturated.
Sweatshop Lukey is calling you.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, Joel, thank you again. Final words, my man.
This is a good one. I like doing it on the Zoom. That was very enjoyable to see the faces. Well done, boys. But my final words are, now that we have adopted the technology that is now the tool of choice for all Rona Days people, everyone's doing it tough out there. Just remember, folks, that if you are feeling a little bit uncomfortable at the minute about trying to recollect all those online orders, that whiteboard is probably sufficient, and you don't necessarily need to go down and rummage through the chocolate fondue sets and ridiculously discounted televisions at Aldi to find your iPad to put on the television per Luke's advice.
You're a backwards thinker, and you'll always be a backwards thinker. You've got 2 fireplaces. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely preposterous. This is not luxury living.
All right. Hey, thank you. We've come to an end. Thank you for listening on the podcast. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm sorry. It's been a challenge getting these 2 under order. Thank you, gentlemen. We will see you soon. Thank you for making it this far. That's all we've got for today.